Now we're going to subtract mixed numbers. Notice I put the mixed numbers here on the side. Okay, so we can see the rules. And the first rule will be to stack and slash. The next rule will be to subtract our whole numbers. Then for the fraction side, we'll need a lowest common denominator and create equivalent fractions. Now, here's the difference in how I teach it. I tell you to ask the cookie question, and I'll go through that when we get there. Then we'd subtract the numerators. We have to ask ourselves, is our fraction improper, or do we need to simplify? And then we combine our whole number and our fraction for our final answer. So let's try a question here. Let's have something like 10 4/5 minus 3 1/3. So I stack and I slash. Now I take care of my whole numbers. 10 minus 3 is 7. Now it says I need a lowest common denominator, and I'm going to come down here at the bottom and I'm going to do that. And my denominators are 3 and 5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20. And my common denominator is a 15. Now I need to set up my chart and show that my common denominator is 15. And I need to ask myself, how did I get from 5 times what gives me 15? And the answer to that is 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Now 4 times 3 is 12. Now, 3 times what gives me the 15? That is 5. And 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 times 5 is 5. Now comes the cookie question. And the cookie question goes more like this. Okay. I have 12 cookies and 5 friends. Do I have enough to give each of my friends 1 cookie? 12 minus 5. Yes, I have plenty of cookies. So since I do, I don't have to mess with the cookie question. I'm going back to my subtraction. And now 12 minus 5 is 7 over 15. Now that I've got 7 over 15, I'm going to combine my answers. And I get 7 and 7/15 as my answer. All right, let's try another question. This time, let's go with 12 1/3 minus 5 3/4. So I stacked and I slash. Now I'm going to take care of my whole numbers. 12 minus 5 is 7. Next thing I need is my lowest common denominator. I have a 3 and a 4. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And my common denominator is 12. So set up your little chart. My common denominator is 12. Now 3 times 4 is 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, do to the top. And 3 times 3 is 9. Now, I'm working with just the fraction. It is time for the cookie question. And the cookie question says, I have 4 cookies and 9 friends. 4 cookies. And I'm feeding 9 friends. You cannot be a bad host. You cannot break the cookies into pieces and feed your friends little crumbs. So, I need more cookies. Well, cookies come in all kinds of packages. I can get the little 4-pack of Nutter Butter at the register. I can go to the deli and I can get, a dozen cookies. I can go back the back and get vanilla wafers with like 25, 30 cookies in a box. So what tells me here how many cookies I have is my denominator. And my denominator is a 12. So I'm getting a bag of 12 cookies. Well, they always tell us to go borrow. I'm going to borrow from the whole number. I took a whole bag of cookies. Now, in theory, we say borrow. I'm going to say you still, because you never give the cookies back. Be honest, you never do. So anyway, I took a whole bag of cookies. I had 4 cookies, and I just got 12 more. I had 4, I got 12 more. So I'm going to add 4 plus 12 in my head, and I get 16. I now have 16 cookies. I now have 16 cookies. So now if I need to finish this out, I have 16 minus 9, which gives me 7 leftover cookies, which I really enjoy because those are left for me when my guests leave. So I've got 7/12 left. I need to ask myself, is this improper? No. Can I simplify? No. So now I combine my 2 answers and I get 6 and 7/12 as my final answer. Time for you to try. I want you to try the math problem 5 and 2/3 minus 1 and 1/5. Hit the pause button, then turn it back on to see if you worked it correctly. All right, let's try this again now. Stack and slash. 5 and 2/3 minus 1 and 1/5. Stack, slash. Check your paper. Is that what you did? Next thing, subtract your whole numbers. 5 minus 1 is 4. See, it feels good to get part of it right. Now, my lowest common denominator of 3 and 5 is 15. Okay. 3 times 5, whatever I do to the bottom, do to the top. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 3 on the bottom, do it to the top. 1 times 3 is 3. Now I ask my cookie question. I have 10 cookies and 3 friends coming over. 10 minus 3. Yes, I have enough. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract. And I've got 10 minus 3, which gives me 7/15. 7/15 is not improper, and I cannot simplify. So now I go to the combine, and I get 4 and 7/15. If you got it correct, congratulations. If you got it wrong, stop the video and go back and rework your question. Here's another one for you to try. You are going to try 12 and 1/8 minus 6 and 4/5. Work the problem, turn off the video, work the problem, and then turn it back on. All right, time to try it now. 12 and 1/8 minus 6 and 4/5. Stack and slash. Take care of my whole number. Now I need a common denominator, which will be 40. 8 times 5, do the bottom, do the top. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 8 on the bottom. 3 times 4 on the top. Okay, so I did LCD on my common equivalent fractions. Next, now I need to ask the cookie question. I have 5 cookies. And I have 32 friends coming over. 5 cookies and 32 friends. Don't think I have enough. So let's go over and borrow. Now that I've borrowed, let's see here. I had 5 cookies, and I just got 40 more. 5 cookies I had plus 40 more. So add 40 plus 5, and I now have 45 cookies. So now I'm going to subtract my numerators. 45 minus 32 gives me 13, and my denominator was 40. 13 over 40 cannot be simplified, and it's not improper, so let's combine these guys back together, and I get 5 with 13 over 40. All right, time for the last question. 9 2/5 minus 2 3/4. Again, stop the video, you work it completely out, then turn it on and check. All right, time to check. 9 2/5 minus 2 3/4. Stack, slash, whole numbers. 9 minus 2 is 7. Common denominator. Common denominator for 5 and 4 will be 20. 5 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 5, 3 times 5 is 15. Now for the cookie question. I have 8 cookies and 15 friends. That's not enough, so I need to go beg, borrow, or steal, and I'm taking a whole bag of cookies. I had 8 cookies. I got 20 more, so 8 plus 20 is now 28 cookies. So I took a whole bag of cookies, and 28 minus 15 leaves me with 13 over 20. Combine those together, and you have your final answer.